What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
Danny Dimes couldn't hook you up, huh?
Nah, man. I mean, let's get right it, man. Let's get right into this, man. I don't even know what episode this is right now, man. Just threw me in a coma with Danny Dimes, man. How's everybody doing tonight, man?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Could be doing better. Your boy Danny Dimes cost me $2,600, man.
That was a ridiculous parlay, but it all boiled down to Danny Dimes. What do you have in the first half? You had like 150 yards passing in the first half.
He had like 150. Then there was like a series where like he threw like a 20-yard ball to Shepard. Shepard dropped it, and then the next play he threw like another 20-yard ball to Galladay, and then he dropped it. And then that's when I texted the group. I said, "Oh, these Giants receivers are trash. This is ridiculous." But then it was like 8 minutes left in the fourth. I was like, "All right, he's gonna get the ball back twice. He can definitely get this done." Next series, he got like 40 yards. So I was like, he was like 194 or something. Then last play of the drive, they got the ball back. I'm like, "Oh, easy. I just needed like 8 yards. Simple pass. Nope." Those is no receiver in sight. Just throws it away to Dallas.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way gambling happens, right?
Nah, I don't know what that is, man. That's the football gods or something, man. So telling me not to never rely on Danny Dimes, man. That's crazy.
This is like when you were betting on the Celtics, and every time you bet on them, like someone would get hurt in the first like 3 minutes of the game. It was the gambling gods telling you to stay away from the Celtics. This is them telling you to stay away from Danny Dimes.
In my head, man, I'm like, I had like 4 or 5 bets too going. Two of them I lost because of him, because he needed over 200 yards and he was at like 194. I was like, oh man. And then I had another one. I hit everything but the Giants. Had the Giants on the money line. And then I had another one but the big one was that one, the $5 bet for 2,600, 11 thing parlay. So
that would have been a nice hit.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been a great week too.
Unfortunately, he let you down, and then the Giants let you down.
Yeah, but I honestly didn't expect much from the Giants. I felt like if they got behind, it was just going to be over for them, because obviously when Danny has to throw the ball, it's just not a good look for them. I mean, you got Hat goes off the table. I mean, he called as much as he could, but ultimately the receivers and the quarterback are the issue. So,
so yeah, I mean, I don't think they really do a good job of blocking. I don't think that the receivers are any good other than Saquon Barkley. I don't know. The Giants' offense is pretty abysmal.
Yeah, man. I mean, the offensive line was looking shaky. O'Neal gave up like 3 sacks against Lawrence. Expected better from him, but he is a rookie, so I mean, can't be too harsh on him. But definitely something they need to clean up on the offensive line. And then these receivers, man, they just got to get open. Somebody's got to get open, man. Unfortunately, Shepard's out for the season, tore his ACL. Like one of those freak plays, he was just running down the field and hurt himself. But I don't know if they try to trade for a receiver or something, but honestly, I mean, at this point, they might as well just, you just got to play and see what you got left on the team, and then go into the offseason and pick up who you need to pick up as far as through the draft. I don't know if we're going to make much splashes in the free agency market. So
yeah, and I think those skill players are tough to get in free agency. I mean, they took a shot at Kenny Galladay, and that hasn't really panned out. So yeah, I think it's building to the draft and adding where you can.
Yeah, definitely. I do like Bellinger though, the tight end.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be decent. Just got to get some more targets. I mean, but the thing is, I mean, when it's just like a double-edged sword. I mean, when you have him in their block, because the offensive line's not that great, but at the same time, the receivers can't get open. But the only time receivers can get open is when you got the tight end out there running routes because defense can't cover it. So, I mean, we're just going to have to see what happens, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we had some other games week 3 in the NFL. We had the Steelers and the Browns. I don't know how to feel about that game, man. It was a close game. I'm waiting for the Steelers to start Kenny Pickett, man.
Yeah, according to Tomlin, it's not happening yet, but I would say it's probably not far away. Unfortunately, watched a lot of that game, and Mitch is he misses windows. He tries to fit in tight windows, and I don't know if it's play calling or whatever, but he did not look good, I would say.
Oh no, Steelers fans are just waiting for Pickett, man. I mean, they've been waiting all season, so.
I mean, what's there to lose? It's not like it's not like Mitch is winning you games. I feel like if you get Pickett out there, he could manage the game for you.
Yeah, I feel like he's more. I feel like he's more accurate, to be honest.
I don't know. We won't be able to tell until he's in an actual game, but
yeah, definitely.
I mean, Mitch, like I said, Mitch has been off, I would say.
But I feel like he was always like that. He was never. He's like a poor man's Josh Allen, but. I think you just got to go. You got to give the rookie a chance. Maybe they wait a few more games. They maybe don't feel like he's ready. But I feel like the Steelers are going to do the right thing as far as when they bring him in. They're going to bring him in at the right time. So it kind of looks like he's a superstar. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how many more games you think before he comes in.
Man, I thought this week would be a good week to go. They're playing at home. They're playing the Jets. The Jets are, the Jets, and I felt like this would be kind of a good week to slot them in. But typically after like a bye week, I would guess. Just pulling up their schedule. I was curious when their bye week is.
Yeah, they don't got a bye till what's that week?
Yeah, like what's this? 4,
8?
5, 6, 7, week 9.
9, yeah.
So maybe they start them against the Saints at home. They got a pretty hefty gauntlet here after the Jets with the Bills. Tampa Bay, Miami, Philly, and then you got a bye week. So yeah, maybe after that, bring them against the Saints, and you got the Bengals coming in, or going to Cincy after that. Or sorry, Bengals coming in there.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think you want to start them during the next set of games after the Jets because it's a lot of pass rushers. So
yeah, I mean a lot of good offense too. So you don't want them to try to get into some shootouts.
Mm-hmm.
I think you play a tighter game against the Saints.
Oh yeah. But definitely looking forward to seeing, how this plays out. So, and then on some other games, I mean, we got the Raiders and the Titans. Raiders 0-3, Titans sneak a win. It was like a poor man's game, man. Not gonna lie. I mean, it's not too much here. Your boy Carr is not looking great. We thought he was going to be able to compete in the division with the addition of Adams, but it's not looking too good for these Raiders, man.
Yeah, the offense hasn't been there. I think everyone was probably more concerned about the defense, and defense has been fine. I would say their offenses, and I think they've tried a few different ways. They've tried to overfeed Devontae, and that didn't work. And now they've tried to kind of spread it out, and that didn't work either. So I think they got to go back to the drawing board there with McDaniels and figure out what's going on.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised too because he's like. Some people consider him the offensive guru when it comes to offense, but I mean it seems like they just can't get it together over there.
Yeah, I don't know who they want to put the blame on there, but probably have to go back and look at the play calling because you got the talent. Obviously, you got Waller, you got Jacobs, you got Renfro, and obviously Adams. So
yeah, but I mean, I feel like certain people I don't understand how McDaniels got a head coaching job anyway because during all his head coaching stints he hasn't been the greatest. I
mean, he had the one in Denver. Everyone, I would say gets a second. Most good coaches will get a second chance. Good coordinators, and I felt like when he was in the Denver one, he was really trying to be Bill Belichick, and he just wasn't. So I think that after kind of toning it down a little and focusing more on what he's good at and relationships and all that stuff, I think that's why he got the second chance. But now it's you still have to win games in the NFL to keep a job.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be interesting to see how things play out over there as well because I feel like if he doesn't do great this year or decent, he may be on the chopping block right away.
I'd say they'll give him a little leeway. He'll get through this season for sure.
I mean, let's say they go 2-15. Do you think he stays?
I do. I don't think they're going to go that. They're not going to be that bad, but I do think that they give him another year.
Well, you have to wait and see, man. Yeah.
So they'd be paying three coaches. They'd be paying Gruden, McDaniels, and then whoever they hire. I don't see them doing that.
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like there's a lot more better candidates than McDaniels, but I don't own the Raiders, so I can't say who I would have picked. But
yeah. I mean, there's always going to be other candidates. I think that they felt like bringing McDaniels, he could bring offensive guru, but just hasn't gotten there. So.
Yep. And then we have the Eagles and the Commanders. Eagles looking like the best team in the NFC. The 1 week I sat Smith, he goes off, but glad that he woke up. The Eagles are looking to incorporate him in the offense. I mean, they're running on all cylinders right now, man. They're looking like a dangerous team.
Yeah, they are. What's their upcoming schedule look like here? Do they have a chance to make a nice little run?
Oh yeah, they definitely do. I mean, upcoming. I think they got the Jaguars next week or this week, but I'm not sleeping on the Jaguars. Their offense is looking great.
I agree. I think it's gonna be a tougher battle than Philly probably thought when they were looking at their schedule originally. I think Jalen Hurts has probably been him and Josh Allen have probably 1-2 or 1A and 1B, however you want to look at it. For quarterbacks so far, he's been great. I mean, it's not even just I think last year primarily did it with the legs. He's throwing the ball great. He's putting balls on the money. He still has that threat to run. So he's looked awesome to start the year.
Yeah, and he has no turnovers so far too as well. So
nope.
I mean, they got a run game, they got receivers, they got a good defense, good offensive line. I mean, they got all the pieces to make a run at the Super Bowl. But It's all going to come down to that experience. So hopefully he can pull it together and kind of treat it like his time when he was like at Alabama and not be shaky. And then they got 2 first-round picks next year too, so they're going to be around for a while, if things pan out.
How you feeling about that?
I mean, I'm fine with it, but I just hope the picks aren't better than the Giants picks. But the way it's looking right now, you can never be too sure. It's still early. I mean, the Giants are 2-1, and the first round pick they have are the Bears. They're 2-1. So I mean, as of this point in time, I think the Eagles will have the better first round picks. But I mean, it's still early. A lot of football to be played. So we're going to see how things plan out. Because I would hate it if they got like 2 top 10 picks or something crazy.
Yeah, that would. I mean, if they have a good year, make a playoff run and then get 2 high picks, it's like, oh boy, there's not many more people more intolerable than Philly fans. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, but I mean, and that's the thing. They don't really need much, but I mean, for them to have 2 top picks, I mean, it just makes them more dangerous. Like if they went out and got a third receiver, or another, top defensive player. It's just gonna be a headache to deal with in that division, especially as a Giants fan. We're pretty much building from scratch, trying to figure out our foundation. So we definitely don't want to see those people in our division.
No, for sure.
And then when we had some other games, we had the Bills and the Dolphins. That was another good one. Came down to the last play. Your boy Josh Allen lost it, man. Threw the ball short. Had Diggs open for the touchdown. I mean, I think it's 2 stories to take from this: that the Dolphins are pretty good, and then the Bills can be beaten.
Yeah, I was kind of, I think Bills came down right away, scored a touchdown, and their offense was, I would say, only okay after that. And that whole like last drive sequence was kind of weird. They got down to like the 2-yard line. And it was almost like they didn't want to score too fast, but then they weren't really that aggressive. Some kind of questionable plays, I would say, and then obviously that last one on 4th down where he threw it short, and then they still had a chance and off the butt punt from Miami. But that I mean they didn't have much time, but why was it McKenzie? Why did he not try to run out of bounds or go down immediately? He knew they didn't have any time. Like, and he wasted like 3 or 4 seconds, going lateral. And if you're doing that, you might as well run right out of bounds so you can get the field goal team on.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thought he can. I think sometimes guys try to almost run out of bounds, but then try to
get a few
run
extra yards.
Charge, yeah. Instead of just going down or doing the smart thing. But I mean, because every yard counts. So.
Oh, for sure, especially when you're lining up a field goal.
And then I think sometimes you're just trying to. I think sometimes some people just want to be the hero and not do the smart thing. They'd rather be the person that scored the touchdown or got the extra yards to put them in position. But sometimes things don't work out like that. You never know, man. But you just got to make the best play available. I mean, you can't knock them for it, but I mean,
no.
Because what if he would have broke out and got a touchdown, or what if he would have still got the extra yards and got out of bounds? Then it would have looked great on him. But sometimes things don't work out like that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think you just need to have some situational awareness there.
Yeah, or at least get closer to the sideline.
Right.
And then we had the Ravens and the Patriots. I mean, we talked about the 1A, 1B quarterbacks. Lamar is definitely the 1B, 1C too as well.
Oh yeah.
He's averaged over 100 rushing yards the past 2 games, over 300 passing yards the past 2 games. I mean, it's looking like he's trying to go for another MVP season, and he's also up for a new contract. So he's definitely going to be getting paid.
Yeah, I think he did the bet on himself, and through 3 weeks, I think his last 2 weeks are the most fantasy points a quarterback has put up ever for back-to-back weeks. So yeah, he's been great. He looked great against the Patriots. Ran for 100 yards, threw again for over 200, 4 touchdowns passing, a rushing touchdown, and then on the final drive that closed everything out, he accounted for all 79 yards that they drove down, either rushing or passing. So yeah, he's been awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean he's tied. Like mentioned before, he's tied. He's first in throwing touchdowns this season. He's only got 2 picks. He's he's at 800 yards passing. But the fact that he's at, almost 400 yards rushing, and this has only been 3 games, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they do as well, because they were one of those teams, if you look at it, the year before when he was healthy, he had the MVP season, that, they had lost to the Bills. And the AFC is pretty much those 3 quarterbacks that will pretty much be keeping our eyes glued to, especially when it comes to playoffs, just how amazing they play and, the potential they have. I mean, we want them all to win, but, it's going to be a gauntlet. Not everybody's going to be able to win.
For sure.
Then we had the Rams and the Cardinals. I think I'm done with the Cardinals, man. They just flake out, man.
Well, McVay, I mean, Kingsbury can't beat McVay, so should have known that going in. I think he's won 10 in a row against them or something. Yeah, I don't know if it's a nuke thing or what it is, but that offense looks. I mean, Marquise Brown looked good. He had 13 catches, 16 targets, but other than that, they just I don't know. They have no running game. Kyle O'Connor was beat up. Murray just I don't know. He just doesn't look the same. He's not scrambling around, getting out of the pocket like he did last year. I mean, he did it at the end of the Raiders game, but other than that, I feel like he's just been very mediocre.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. I think he said after the game. I think he said something after the game that the players need to keep up with him or something. Which is I don't know, man. I don't feel like they're on the same page offensively. Like the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, the head coach, and the receivers. I feel like they're just scrambling at times, and they're kind of getting lucky. But ultimately, they're still losing because everything's they're just throwing stuff on the wall, see if it sticks. Then we had the 49ers and the Broncos. Your boy Russell Wilson wills the team to victory.
Did he really, though? I mean, that was a garbage game.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting a lot from these Broncos, man, especially offensively. But I don't know what's going on, man. They need to figure out how to put some points up on the board, man, because this offense should be clicking, man, but they're not.
He hasn't looked good. It's really what it boils down to. He's just missing throws. I think he's, again, not getting out of the pocket the same as he used to. So I think they need to figure something out there quickly because they got a lot of money invested in him.
Oh yeah, and I mean those defensive players are going to be up for a re-up soon. But I don't know, man. They got to figure out some switch up their offense. I'm surprised they don't run the ball as much with those good running backs they got too.
Yeah, I was a little bit too. I thought they'd run the ball a little bit more, especially in a game like that. Maybe it was the San Francisco front that they were afraid of, but yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they got to go to a play action type offense instead of trying to force things. And I don't know, man, because I mean they got a defense, man. Their defense is gonna keep them in the games, but you can only rely on them for so long, man.
Right.
Then we had your Jets and the Bengals, man. How you feeling about your team, man? You guys played it close for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you get what you get with Joe Flacco. You get the weeks like you had in Cleveland, and then you'll get a week like you had last week. So, I'm excited to see Zach Wilson come back this week, going to Pittsburgh. They had everything to, gain in that game. They really needed a win. They were 0-2 coming off the Super Bowl. They just wanted it more, I think, than the Jets. I think the Jets had some issues defensively, some communication errors. So I think that let's move forward, go to next week, and let's get right.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do. Your boy Hall had a good game. And then, like I said, I wish they would have mic'd up Sauce and Chase, man. It looks like they were going at it, man.
All day long.
It looks like the trash talking was epic, man. I wish they had them mic'd up. Maybe they might have. Maybe and then they don't release it for like a week or two. But I would love to hear that trash talk, man. Up and coming corner, and then one of the top receivers in the game right now going at it. So.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Because Sauce was not going down lightly with any trash talk.
No.
Not too much else for week 3 besides the Jags offense. I mean, they're clicking, man. The quarterback's on point. They're getting some blocking. They got a bunch of weapons that we did not see coming, and they're getting the job done.
Yeah, I think it goes to show, what you can do with a good coach, a coach that knows how to handle young quarterbacks. Because I would say Lawrence towards the end of the last year was not looking great, but he's off to a great start so far this year. And I think it's just the scheme. They've schemed to his strengths now, and he looks a lot better.
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna have a test coming up this week against the Eagles. So I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup. 2 young quarterbacks going at it. They met up before in the college championship game before. I believe Lawrence got the best of them at that time when Hurts was in Alabama. And then did they beat him once? No, I think that's when they switched to. Yeah, I think they switched to Tua, and that's when Tua beat him. Yeah, so I'm sure there's some kind of bad blood against them. So they're gonna want to outshine each other. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then we got week 4 coming up in the NFL. Not too many games, good games, I would say. We do got the Dolphins and Bengals on Thursday night. That should be a good one. You got Tua versus Burrow. Looking forward to this matchup as well. The Dolphins offensively versus the Bengals offensively. And then the Dolphins defensively as well. We mentioned before. We're gonna see which set of receivers can outshine the other ones. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think I think the Bengals and I guess the Dolphins are right behind them in the best wide receiver core in the league. I mean, Bengals got Boyd, Chase, and T. Higgins, obviously Waddle and Hill in Miami. So yeah, that should be a good battle. As long as Tua is healthy, that back injury that makes you wobble around on the field. See if that'll hold him back at all. Back injury, aka concussion.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was inevitable. I mean, Tua hasn't been able to stay healthy in a while. So. Oh
yeah, for sure.
But I didn't think he was gonna go out like that. But hey, I think they can still get it done. I mean, I think they were prepared for this in the event that he gets hurt. So I'm sure they got something game planned so they can put up some points against the Bengals.
Yep.
Then we got the Giants and the Bears battle of the first round picks right now. I mean, this is a scratch game. Winner messes up their first round picks, but I think this gives them an opportunity to have a winnable game and move in the right bounce back and move in the right direction. But like I said, it's still gonna be a long season, man. I don't expect the Giants to do too much. Like, I'm not expecting them to get in the playoffs or make some noise. But I think there's another opportunity for them to assess the players they have on their roster now. So come free agency next year and draft time, they know what holes they need to fill.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that one of these teams is going to come out of this game 3-1, because I think the Bears have 297 yards of passing offense so far, and I think only 23 completions or something like that for Justin Fields. Like, he's looked awful, but they've won two tight games. Obviously the Giants the same. I would say a little bit better on the talent side there, but yeah, it's I think it's a get right game for someone here.
Oh yeah, but I'll definitely check it out for a little bit. But of course, I'm not going to put any dimes in my parlay on this one. So,
well, I wouldn't put Fields in there either.
No, I'm staying away from both quarterbacks. Even though I had the Cowboys quarterback in there, but he hit his 212 yards. So
yeah,
which was crazy. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
Yeah.
And then we got the Titans and the Colts. It's gonna be an interesting game because these are the two teams that are probably the best two teams in that division, and they're not far off from each other as far as record wise. So the winner of this is going to put them back in the driver's seat of that division and on track to make the playoffs. So, but we're expecting a lot more so from the Colts because we feel like they were a quarterback away. They got a decent quarterback, but seems like they're still struggling, man.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts picked up a nice win against KC over the weekend. I think it was, I don't know, it felt like it was like gift wrap to them, but KC didn't do anything to help themselves. The Titans, still unsure what they are, other than Derrick Henry and a bunch of other, not garbage, but I would say, younger guys. So, I think this is a good spot for the Colts to get Johnny Taylor going and get that offense rolling a little bit.
Yeah, him, Pittman, they got to get everybody rolling, man.
True.
What's the name? Still been putting up almost 100 yards a game, but Taylor. But I feel like one of the receivers is going to have to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Commanders and the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care too much for this game. Not a fan of either teams. As long as what's the name, throws a dots in, I'm fine, man.
Yeah, this seems like a game Cowboys should win pretty handily, even if Cooper Rush is their quarterback. Well, he actually looks serviceable. I'm not saying he's Dak or great by any means, but he's been okay. He throws a nice ball. And I heard something the other day, and we've talked about this before, but like, does anyone not think that Tony Pollard is the best running back on that team?
Yeah, I don't understand how they don't understand that.
I mean, I get that you're paying Zeke a lot of money, but Pollard's your best, arguably your best offensive player.
Yeah,
and maybe it's because it's in small doses. He stays healthier and whatnot. But man, when he gets in the open field, he is fun to watch.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this is their the Cowboys' opportunity to lay off Zeke come this offseason, and then get younger at the position and also save some money. So
true.
Hopefully he bounces back after this, or still has a decent season overall, and puts himself in a better position. But I also feel like he doesn't want to leave the Cowboys either. So
true.
And then we got the Bills and the Ravens. This is gonna be a great game, matchup of two great quarterbacks. It's gonna be interesting to see if Lamar tries to get revenge. Since I think the last time he played him, that's when they knocked him out the playoffs, and then he was hurt last year. So, and the fact that he's been looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Between him and Allen, and then Hurts. So,
yeah, I think this should be a good game. I think that the Buffalo's defense is a little beaten up right now. Obviously, Micah Hyde hitting IR, and Jordan Poyer's been battling issues. So it's a good time for Lamar to take advantage here and see what he can do.
Yeah, I heard they're trying to sign Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see. But the big thing with the Ravens is the game. But I mean, Lamar has been opening it up with the passing game. Bateman, has been one of the best receivers for him, giving him that long ball threat, big target. Then you got Andrews, and now run game, man. So we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yep.
Definitely one of the games of the week I'll be checking out on Sunday. So.
Oh yeah, that's near the top of the list for sure.
Excuse me. And then we got we mentioned the Jags and the Eagles. That should be a good game as well. Probably be going back and forth with that one. Then we got your Jets and the Steelers. How are you feeling about your team? You think your team could pull off the win here?
I think they can. Yeah, I don't think the Steelers are all that great. They can get some pressure on Mitch and get him to force a couple turnovers. I think they can win. It'll just be, we'll just have to see how Zach Wilson looks in his first game back. But I'd imagine they're gonna try to keep things simple, get it out of his hands quickly. But you never know with the Jets. So
I don't know, man. I think y'all got this one, man. I think y'all gonna put up some points this game. Your boy Hall's gonna go off. He's gonna have like 50 receiving yards, another 80, 90 rushing yards. But I mean, overall, I'm looking forward to seeing this game, just to see if how your Jets do, and to see if Kenny Pickett gets in there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we got the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. That should be another good game. Super Bowl matchup, revenge game, so to say. That Bucs defense been looking great. Bucs offensively have been struggling a little bit. They got a bunch of receivers out. Mike Evans comes back, and I think the Chiefs want to bounce back from that loss against the Colts, man.
Yeah, I think this should be a good game, good Sunday night, good way to finish the weekend or the weekend. Yeah, I think that the Bucs are beat up too, like you talked about. But getting Mike Evans back, obviously, huge help. But the Packers defense has been decent. I think they got some good players on that side of the ball, and I think they've propelled the offense to play a little bit better here lately. So that should be a good game. It could definitely go either way. I said Green Bay. I meant KC. KC's defense has been playing a lot better. Outside of letting the Colts come down that last drive and score a touchdown, which was, I thought, a little bit BS. They had a late hit call, which I thought was kind of garbage. But other than that, I think their defense has been surprisingly playing pretty well.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing that game as well. That should be another good Sunday evening game.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the Rams and the 49ers. I'm not gonna lie, man. I might skip, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be one where if either my fantasy teams are out or if one, this could be an ugly, boring game.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just not too. I feel like this is not. We don't get to see much flash in this game. When these two teams play, most time these two teams play, it's either a rough, close game, or it's never like high flying. It just doesn't pique my interest with these two matchups. When these two teams play.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then for fantasy football, I beat JD this week. So far it's 1-0. We're gonna play each other later on in the season. I'll keep you guys posted. I know he was a little upset from his player's performance.
Yeah, team underperformed. Coaching was there. Team laid it all out for the team nicely. Team did not perform.
People just did not show up.
It happens. You can only do so much as a coach.
Yeah, I almost blew it because I had like 60 points on the bench. Two guys go off. I mean, but I feel like if I start them next time, they're gonna tank out. So we'll see how things play out.
What's been going on this year? But I've been off to a good start, but my benches have been crushing it. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It's like you said, some weeks you put in the right guy, some weeks you don't.
Yeah, man, I'm just looking for that consistent guy, man. We'll see how things shake out. So I mean, still early. People getting into the swing of things. We're seeing some of the younger talent develop. There's still a few guys out there. I wish I had more roster spots. I would just keep them on my roster just in case. But we'll see how things play out.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't been hit with injuries yet, so.
Oh, it's coming.
I mean, Michael Thomas is out, but.
He's not out yet.
Yeah, but he got hurt this week. But then, thank goodness I had Olave, but he wasn't starting.
During the week. Yeah, I see what you're saying. During the game.
Yeah, because he was getting all the targets. So.
Yeah. Oh no, Olave's getting a lot of play from Jameis.
Yep, I'm happy for it. Then on to the NBA. Not too much here besides your boy Udoka getting suspended for the year. I know you guys are hurt. I mean, we've seen the memes. Lost the NBA championship and lost his job in the same year, pretty much. A lot of stuff going on with this. They still haven't revealed too much details, but people were saying it's worse than what was released as far as what was going on. There's rumors that it was more than one person. Now there's rumors that some of the stuff was unwarranted with some of the women. So I think there's a lot that they're not going to release. And I'm surprised it got released to begin with. I know Stephen A. mentioned some of this, but I felt like it would have been better if they just, suspended him and then really say that pretty much, how they say, conduct detrimental to the team type of stuff. But
yeah, I just feel like
but,
in this day and age, like everyone needs to know what's going on, right? And these guys won't stop. And I don't know. Sometimes it feels like they want to get it out there to make. I don't really know why, other than to make themselves feel a little bit better. Like, yeah, we suspended them for the year, and they leak out to their cronies. This is what happened, right? So, and listen to some of the press conferences from the players on Monday. A lot of them were kind of shocked. Tatum found out on Twitter, the typical stories, right? But yeah, I think it's definitely a tough situation. And Judge hit 61.
I would love to be the person to catch that ball.
Sorry for the break in there, but yeah, I think getting back to the Ime situation, I think the part that really bothers me is that he was able to get to those players, right? Like they bought into what he was talking about, and it's not always easy in the NBA. You got a lot of egos. You got a lot of guys that are highly paid, and again, it only takes a couple superstars to run a team there. And it felt like that they had bought in towards the end of the year, obviously. And I don't know if that was Ime or what, but I think that was more the disappointing part for me. I don't think in the end, I don't think coaches make a huge deal as long as you have a guy who's not causing problems. Obviously, there's the Popoviches of the world that are different. But I think that was kind of the hard part for me to take, right? You finally got a team that's cohesive, and you got a guy that can push them to that next level that maybe Brad couldn't get them to, and now you're removing him for what seems like good reason. Obviously, still don't know what happened. I don't, at this point, I don't really care what happened. If the Celtics deemed it to be bad enough to put him on suspension for a year, then that's good with me. But because they don't take these things lightly in the NBA, right? Especially with a guy who did as good of a job as he did last year. Obviously, an African American coach. Not that should have anything to do with anything, but it does in the NBA right now, right? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it stunk because I thought I liked Ime.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys had your coach for the future as well. Seems like you guys did a great job of going from Bradley to him. But I'm interested to see if how your interim head coach does, to see if the players can still hold it together and not fall apart. So
right.
And then I know there's some other stuff going around about Kevin Durant talking about Kyrie and stuff, but honestly, I'll wait till the game starts before I believe any of what he's saying. What is it, this Friday? We got preseason kicking off, so then we got pretty much about almost a month, and then NBA is gonna be in full effect too, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. This is like a fun time of year with baseball. It's all four sports going. You got baseball playoffs, NFL's in full swing, and then NHL and NBA kicking off here in the middle of October.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a parlay fest, man.
Yeah. Now, you can cross sports and everything now, Rich.
I know. I never really do on the parlays just because it's my parlays are kind of epic, but and I feel like the only I think maybe I did it once or twice, but it was during college basketball, but it was just too much.
Yeah, I do like to cross over college basketball and the NBA sometimes.
Yeah, I think when I did it was too much, man. But I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Had some good times last year during this time in those parlays. So that's really the only time I really do them either. But definitely looking forward to it.
Yep.
And then on to MLB. I mean, you just broke the news. Your boy Judge hit 61. Almost getting that monkey off his back, man. How much do you think that ball's going to sell for?
I don't know. It's going to go back to Judge, though, because it landed in the bullpen. So I $0 because I don't think I think that's going right back to the man himself. Unfortunately for the fan. I don't know. I thought it was cool that the kids that got the 60th ball there, that they just wanted some pictures and autographs. I always struggle as to what I would do if I caught it. Part of me would want to hold out for some cash, but the other part of me would want to just give it to him because in the end, it's like more valuable for him than it would be for me.
Mm-hmm. What if he offered to buy it from you? What if he offered you $25,000? Would you do it?
Probably, yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I just have I know that there's like memorabilia collectors and all that stuff out there, but I personally would want to give it first stab to the player, right? Like if he wants it, again, like I wouldn't ask for the world, but if he's going to throw an offer out there, like you said, like 25 grand, absolutely, all yours.
I don't know, man. I might need more than that, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna need some signed jerseys, some pictures.
Oh yeah, that stuff for sure. You have to get that. That's what's on.
Maybe some tickets, but also, man, you never know because this might be his last season as a Yankee. But
you never know.
I never know, right? But I mean, I would definitely have him throwing some sweeteners in there, sprinkles on top, whatever you want to call it, right? But yeah, I would definitely give the player the first stab at it. But like I said, man, I'd be interested to see if it went to a fan, or even if he goes to like let's say after the 62, 63, or 64 or whatever, to see how much those balls go for as well.
Yeah, I think 61 and 62 are probably going to go for the most. I think after that it's just like maybe the last one, but you don't know what that's going to be.
Yep, you never know. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but if he gets close to that Barry Bonds number, man, I think that's people are going to start going crazy, man.
He won't. I mean, it's 12 more home runs he'd have to hit. So,
how many games left in the season? 10?
No, they have 8 games left. 7 games left after tonight.
7? Oh, so yeah. I mean, he almost had to hit almost 2 a game.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, they gonna walk him by then. So.
Yep.
Then I mean, there's not really much else in MLB. I mean, pretty much same old on the NL side. I mean, Dodgers, Mets, and Braves. Then we just count down to October to get towards these playoffs.
Yep, we're getting there. This is like like I talked about last week. This is like the lull where you're just like, can we just fast forward a week or two? And now with the play-in games, it's gonna be. I think the Yankees' last game is next Wednesday, and then they'll essentially have like a week off until they play another game. Start the playoffs.
Yeah, man. It's going to be these next few months are going to be a great few months, man. Just with everything going on between baseball, basketball, and football. It's just going to be what we call a great time to be alive, man.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's our time again. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right. So for tonight, this was again. I've been trying to do the weeknight recipes that are pretty easy. This was a baked ranch flavored chicken with a side of zucchini noodles. So the chicken's actually relatively easy. So what you do is you marinate it in a light sour cream or a fat-free sour cream, something like that, or Greek yogurt if you wanted to. Put in there with some like the ranch seasoning, the packet. So throw 2 tablespoons of that in there. Mix that up. Salt and pepper the chicken. Throw that in the sour cream mixture and let it sit for a little bit. Let it kind of soak all itself in. Mm-hmm. And then while that's waiting, put together a mixture of breadcrumbs. What else do I have in there? Breadcrumbs, some more ranch seasoning, some cheddar cheese, and some Parmesan cheese.
Sounds like magic.
Yeah, and so then you take, it's almost like shake and bake, but like a healthier version. So then you take the chicken out of the marinade there, get both sides loaded up with breadcrumbs, toss it on a baking sheet with a little bit of baking spray on there, and the oven for like, I forget what it is, 25, 30 minutes. And voila, you get a nice, juicy, flavorful piece of chicken. And then with that, we had some zoodles, so just the zucchini turned into, that fake spaghetti, and mix that up with some olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and Parmesan cheese. And again, nice little healthy weeknight meal. It doesn't take too long to make.
Oh, nice, man. That sounds great, man. I feel like it's a I feel like it's a different version of a Parmesan type chicken.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it's like a garlic parm type chicken, but like the ranch seasoning gives it a little bit of a different flavor to it.
I feel like do you feel like it was too much ranch, or do you feel like the ranch was like
No.
masked with everything
No,
that
I
you
think
really needed to taste it?
it was masked. I don't think that there was too much of it because I'm not I like ranch, but I'm not like a huge ranch flavor person.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was, I wouldn't have enjoyed it, and I like this one. It was good.
Definitely have to check that out, man. Because I feel like ranch is all right. Because obviously not blue cheese, but I feel like there's not much like things you can do with ranch outside of like chicken bacon ranch pizza or use it for wings, salads.
Right.
But definitely might have to check that recipe out.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And then what'd you guys drink that down with?
All right. I told you I was going to give you the review. I had another beer I was going to review tonight that it was really good, but I'll hold it off for next week because I told you I was going to give you my review on the coffee flavored beer that I had. So it was let me find the name of it here. It was a pumpkin spice latte blonde ale, and I feel like, pumpkin latte blonde. That's what they call it. Sycamore Brewing. Again, just out of Charlotte. We went there actually over the weekend. Really cool place. Got a big beer garden. They had a little President's Cup thing going on, which is cool. So it was a great place. Really awesome vibe there. But they have this beer, and it's a pumpkin latte blonde. So it's like their take on a blonde ale, but putting like that pumpkin latte flavor into it. And typically when I've had these kind of beers before, like you can kind of get a little hint of the coffee flavor or the pumpkin flavor or whatever. But mostly on the back end, you get just that normal, whatever it is, blonde ale or a stout or what have you. This one, super sweet. And it just carried that coffee flavor on the back end. It was just really interesting. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Actually, Michelle got it, and then I ended up drinking it because she didn't like it. But it was.
But you liked it.
No, I didn't. But it was like
okay.
It's like one of those things where you're like, when you try it and you're like intrigued and you're like, oh, this is really that bad, and then you like, I don't know. For me, sometimes it happens with beer, but I'll just like keep drinking it, thinking that it might change. Or like, I don't know, just like so intrigued by how they put that flavor into a beer.
Mm-hmm.
was more about how did they make a blonde ale, so packed full of coffee flavor but still at the same time like super sweet, which is I guess a kudos to the brewer for doing that, because it didn't even taste like beer. It was just, and with a blonde ale, I don't feel like it's that easy to hide, because you still have that, light, airy feeling to it. But it was, for me, I could see where people would like this. I did not enjoy it at all. It was just too much. If I want to drink a coffee, I'll drink a coffee. If I want a coffee stout, it's a little different because it's a darker beer. You're kind of you know what you're getting yourself into. I was kind of looking for more of a refreshing but flavorful beer, and although flavorful, it was not very refreshing. It kind of left a coffee taste in your mouth, and I was like, I'm just not, not in the mood for that.
Well, I mean, if they could do that, they could do so much more.
Exactly.
So,
And they I've had a few of their beers, and they do pack a lot of flavor into them. They do a great job, I think, with that in their IPAs. I had they have like a Brazilian lemonade that's really good. They do a lot of things really good, but just wasn't for me. So I'd probably throw it at like a 5.1.
Oh man, that's pretty low, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I thought it would at least hit the 6s, man.
No, it was if I had a 4-pack and I don't pour beer out, I'd be giving the other 3 away on this one.
Oh damn, man, that's bad, man.
I know.
That's bad, man. You can't be you pour it out, man.
I wouldn't pour it out. I'd give them away. I can't pour it out. I'd be handing them out to people.
Oh, I feel like it's one of those ones that somebody gave you one in the party. That's one of the ones you take a few sips and then you just put it down and walk away, just get a new beer.
Exactly.
And then when people are cleaning up at the end of the night, you're like, oh man, who left this one, man? This is still full.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, I didn't want that.
And then that's JD's Bison Brew, everybody.
I got a better beer for next week. We'll get back into the swing of good beers with some new breweries around here.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it because I'm gonna need some for football Sundays.
There you go.
Trying to hold out on the wings, waiting to get another good beer, man. And then not too much for the BRRs this week. I'm still going through some shows. We got C going on. I feel like they're kind of rushing the season as far as like some of the stuff they're revealing because this is the last season. I feel like it could have went a lot longer, but still a good show. They started the Jeffrey Dahmer show on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you started it yet.
Already finished it.
Oh damn! I'm on like episode 4 or 5. This shit is sick, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not, man. But I mean, I feel like watching is fine. I mean, the crazy thing is that during the first few episodes, I mean, the neighbors were calling the cops on him. I mean, and the police were kind of ignoring it pretty much, which is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I heard that the families that were a little upset that they made this documentary because it kind of humanizes Dahmer. But
sure,
in the same sense, I do like to see these, not because like I'm a sick person, but just to see how they think. And then also it gives you a perspective when you meet certain people, like what to keep an eye out for. Because some of these people are, they have crazy backgrounds. His is not that crazy, but I mean, the fact that the father was damn near picking up roadkill with him and dissecting it. I mean, you got to know your kid, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You got to know that going in that this could cause problems.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. But I guess it was back then. He was born 50 something or something like that. So This was back in the 70s or something like that, 60s, 70s. So back then, I mean, they didn't practice anything as far as like they weren't really up on mental health. But I mean, in today's time, if you see like something like this happening, those are the red flags where you're gonna have to take your kid to get looked at, man, or get him some kind of help, or just not go get him roadkill.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know, man. I find some of this stuff fascinating to see how people think. Like some of these stories for like even like the Night Stalker and some other things, like people's logic or thinking of things and how they do what they do.
Right. No, I agree. That's the interesting part to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it brings up a bunch of hurt to the families that, suffer during this. But, I mean, eventually the story's going to come out. I mean, the story's already there. It's not like, that's one thing about America. I feel like America doesn't want to embrace its tainted past. I mean, these things are eventually going to come out or get made into a movie, made into a TV show. Because it's part of history.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had House of Dragons, episode 5. Had a huge fast forward. I felt like this was like a 10-year jump, man.
It was, yeah. It was a 10-year jump. Rhaenyra has two kids already. A third one.
Well, 3. She had a
third one born to start the show. Her and the Queen still aren't seeing eye to eye here. There's a lot going on, a lot to catch up on. You get introduced to the new what's his face, the Hand's son. Who seems to be the father of the 3 children? Sir Christian, who's butthurt about the whole situation. It appears. So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, I felt like it was an episode of Maury in the beginning, man.
Yeah. And then you had Larys killing his brother and dad at the end of the episode and doing it, quote unquote, doing it for the Queen, even though that's not what she wanted. He seems like one of those. Like you were saying before, like almost like a Littlefoot type character where he's like going to use this now to propel himself where he wants to go. Mm-hmm. And now he's got the Queen manipulated because now she's killed the Hand of the King and the Hand of the King's son.
Yep. But that's that happened like simultaneously as the princess was leaving, right?
What's that?
When their building was burning, it happened like the same time they left, right? The princess, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens when she gets to wherever she gets to. I think they're going to Dragonfell or something like that.
They're going to Dragonfell, yeah.
Yeah, and then they hear the news about his death. So there's definitely going to be a war.
Oh, yeah, something's going down for sure.
And then the brother's up to no good too, so he's gonna be right along plotting too. So
Who, Damon?
yep.
Yeah, I wonder what he's gonna do now that his wife or baby mama fried herself, jerkarised herself. Now he's got the two kids, and what's his plan now?
Well, remember he's gonna marry one of them off, and then he's trying to get I forget what that guy was offering, like his land and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna start doing that, man. He has 3 girls or 2 girls. So
2 girls. Yep.
yeah, he's definitely gonna take over some territories. So they're probably gonna see the 3 major parties. Will probably be him, his affiliates, then the princesses, and then the queen side, everybody from the kingdom. So it's already getting split up now. So we're seeing how the one kingdom is going back to 7.
Yeah. How is everything's gonna all start to split out here?
And then I want to see what happened with the I wonder if the other son gets a dragon too. The one that they gave the pig.
Oh,
they're making fun of him. Yeah, they're making fun of him because he couldn't get a dragon.
That was pretty funny.
And then the dragon that burnt the brother's baby mama. Yep. Was that the one, that skull that was in the that basement in the regular Game of Thrones?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because I remember supposedly they said that one was like the greatest dragon one or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not positive.
But definitely looking forward to these next few episodes.
Oh yeah. This is I feel like they've done a really good job with this.
Yeah, I can only imagine the season 2 and stuff. Season 2 and 3. Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to go back and watch some of the first season once they kick off season 2, because I'm sure they're gonna be jumping around too.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of time to catch up on. Depending on I don't know how long the show will run. 4 or 5 seasons, something like that. But yeah, it depends how much time they want to jump, because they got to make up like 190 years. So they'll now somewhere around like 175 years.
Yep, and then they'll begin different like they're gonna be running through actors and actresses too. So
oh yeah, for sure.
I think that's going to be the more difficult part of remembering who's who when they do the time jumps.
Yeah, that gets confusing.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need that little pop up on who's who when you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But then outside of that, man, I don't think it really was much else. I think everything else was just caught up on some She-Hulk. It's all right, man. It's a little slow now, but definitely one of the. I probably rank this one in the middle of the pack as far as the Disney Marvel shows. But I'm more so looking forward to bringing back Daredevil, and then when Loki comes back, Loki's one of the best ones of the Marvel series. So, then,
how you feeling about the Deadpool Wolverine, movie that's coming in 2 years?
I'm looking forward to it, but I mean, I guess that's how they're going to introduce Wolverine to the MCU. But I wonder if he's going to stay as Wolverine, because the X-Men movie is pretty much not coming out till maybe 3 or 4 years. So we got a long way to go, but it'll come quick because Marvel's pretty much putting out 3-4 movies a year, so they're gonna have Easter eggs throughout. But I mean, pretty much the next big thing we're gonna get is Fantastic Four, Blade, then X-Men, and then we go into more of the Secret War stuff, which pretty much is like the war of the multiverses, pretty much. So maybe he's a version of a different Earth Wolverine, and then the main one is going to be another one, and they'll meet up and fight and kill each other. But I mean, ultimately, Kevin Feige knows what he's doing over there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just going to take our money and we're going to handily give it to them. So I'm trying to think. There's not too much else. I don't think I watched any new movies or anything. Trying to see what else was there. Anything else I watched? Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, just Game of Thrones. I stopped watching Rings of Power because I feel like I need to binge it. I didn't start the Andor yet. Then there was She-Hulk. I'll wait on Cobra Kai. Yeah, it's not really else. La Brea is back. It's an okay show, but I feel like it gives you something to watch if you want to watch something have something on in the background. Never really watch Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, it's not really much else. Stop watching Walking Dead. I might go back to it and watch it, man.
I'm done.
Just because I saw it looked like they had like the what they call from Star Wars, the stormtroopers in there.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead. I was like, oh shit, they got the stormtroopers in Walking Dead, man. This is crazy, man.
I don't know what I'm done with that show. I mean, I gave it up a while ago, but it just got ridiculous.
Yeah, it wasn't the same after Rick died, man. Well, supposedly he might be still alive, but I don't know, man. But I mean, yeah, it's not really much else, man. Still waiting for some other stuff to come out, so we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it, man. Right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.